Welcome to our coverage of the NBA All-Star Game with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. This is Kevin Harlan.
And guys, this really sets up to be an incredible night in terms of excitement. From the coaches to the players, to us here in the booth. I mean, this is such a fantastic event to be a part of.
Guys, it really is the greatest all-star game in all the sports, in my opinion. We have the best players in the NBA at the peak of their powers. I mean, I can't wait to see what this year's game has in store for us.
Now we'll look at the West All-Stars starting lineup. They've got LeBron James. Stephen Curry's out there with Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's Nikola Jokić. And it's Durant in at the small forward position. And he's good on the three ball.
Well, I think, as is always the case, the story of the game tonight won't have a lot to do with defense.
That's the way it always is. I mean, a half-court alley-oop or a spectacular behind-the-back pass, that's exactly what the people want to see in this game. Well, the All-Star Game deep is in full effect. They typically clamp it down in the second half.
Tatum passes to Siakam. They need this. His first shot is a miss, 0 for 1 to start the contest. Curry outside, and the West hit again from deep.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
Tell you what, forget about easing into the game. They came out with guns blazing.
It's been all about Stephen Curry for the West. He nailed it from... Back with you again on the most entertaining night on the NBA calendar. 1 quarter down and 3 to play in the All-Star Game.
And you can see these players now starting to get into a rhythm. Should see a lot better flow to the game here in the second quarter.
That's usually the case. I mean, it takes some time to gel with your teammates at the All-Star Game.
On the court right now as the second quarter starts for the West All-Stars. James is out there with Durant. Then there's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Then there's Stephen Curry. And it's Jokić in at the 5, roaming the paint.
And you know, the officials not giving their whistles much of a workout here tonight. Very few fouls being called.
And most of that, Greg, is because they're not playing full-force defense. I mean, you're never going to see as much contact around the bucket in this game as you would ordinarily.
And fans and celebrities alike have descended on this town for All-Star Week. There's been a bunch of fun events going on all over the place.
And, Greg, it's like that every year. I mean, no matter what city is hosting, it becomes a mecca for everyone who wants to take in one of the greatest scenes in all of sports. Not only to watch the best players, but to be seen by the other stars in the crowd.
James looking it over. Hits the three-point bomb. LeBron's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Tatum way outside. That one no good. And so it's the West All-Stars taking a 19-point lead into the break. And with as many three-pointers as they've drained, it's easy to see why they're on the cusp of a blowout. We've got more in store for you right after this. One half remaining in the NBA All-Star Game. Good to have you along on 2K Sports.
And that first half was terrific. I'll bet anything, though, the second has even more in store for us.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think it's going to be a spectacular final 2 quarters.
Siakam is out there with Towns. Then it's Jalen Brunson. Then there's Jayson Tatum. And it's Mitchell in at the 2 guard. And that's the group for Joe Mazzulla as we begin the second half.
And we've got a collection of the greatest players in the world here. I mean, and playing in an event where they can really let it all hang out.
And that's exactly why we always come away with such great memories. I mean, because they really do try to give the fans as many highlights as possible. And they are the best players in the world.
Brunson, that's a 2-pointer. And it's out of bounds, and they say it was last touched by Durant. So the West ends up going with the new group. Towns, the pass to Brunson. Here's Tatum. And the layup falls. Tatum's got his first bucket of the night.
Just too good a player to leave open.
There's the triple. That's good from Wembanyama on the assist by Harden.
It's been this way since halftime. Tremendous production from beyond the arc.
Boy, it's been a three-point barrage. They came out gunning and have not stopped.
And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. It's the West. And we welcome you back. The biggest stars of the league are putting on a show here at the All-Star Game.
And we're seeing some world-class basketball being played here tonight.
That's exactly what you'd expect coming from the absolute greatest players on the planet.
On the floor for the West All-Stars, we've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Jokić is out there with LeBron James. Then there's Stephen Curry. And it's KD in at the small forward.
With how fast Brunson plays, his pull-up is really unguarded.
Got that one up quick.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Nothing like answering back. One team gets three, you fire three of your own. Boom.
Back to Brunson. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Here's Curry with the three. And the West hit again from deep.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
And, you know, this run shows what kind of attitude this team has. I mean, the win is there. Go get it.
A bit of pride at stake. Trying to get that last three ball back, but couldn't get it to fall.
Lets the three fly. Traps in the Trae.
And this is the game plan for him. He's a big part of their floor spacing.
And you know what? It's all about the long distance game for him tonight. He's getting it done from out there.
So no problem for the West All-Stars as they get the win.
And it's impossible to know what's going to happen in these games. The talent on both sides is always so strong. But tonight, the West seemed a little more comfortable playing together as a unit, and that's what earned them the win.
You mentioned that all broadcast long, and sure enough, it came to fruition. That brings us to the conclusion of our All-Star coverage. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. For Clark Kellogg and Greg...